Game Bread is in the building, and these guys just flapping gums at each other any chance they get. The fight clock is brought to you. One of the greatest knockouts you'll ever see.
Got him.
Well, this is unfortunate. Now, I know Dana White's a businessman and he's thinking about the bottom line, which is, of course, on the mind of any CEO. However, his association with Anheuser-Busch, of all companies, it's a surprise to me. Now, we've seen in recent years various sports organizations bend the knee either to BLM or the LGBTQI blah, 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 blah group, whether it's the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, which is surprising to me, and other organizations. But for Dana White to take a deal with Anheuser-Busch for $100 million, and yes, that is a lot of money. I get that. I get it's business. I understand that. But the only people who benefit here is Anheuser-Busch, because Dana White has built a reputation over the years as a tough guy, no-nonsense guy, not willing to cave to pressures from social media or the news media, what have you. He hangs around people like Donald Trump, Kid Rock. He has a solid fan base. The UFC fan base is pretty based, in my opinion. But for him to do this, to me, wasn't there any other company he could have done business with? I know Anheuser-Busch is trying to rebuild their brand after hiring Dylan Mulvaney, but their reputation is still shot to this day. So they only have to go up from here. But Dana White, he's been on top, and this could only hurt him. So I'm going to play this clip from Fox News just briefly about why he decided to go and make business with Anheuser-Busch. Then we read an article, get my 2 cents in. But before we begin, please like this video, get this video spread to the masses, share it, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to get notified of future videos. Timestamps are below, and let's begin.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, first of all, let me start with, they were the first beer company that we really did business with. They're our first real big sponsor when we were getting started, and now we're back with them. And going into this deal, I know all the controversy and everything else, but for myself, going into a long-term deal with another sponsor, I want to be with somebody that I'm actually aligned with. And I know people were upset with what they did, but I'm looking at all the good things that they do. They employ 65,000 Americans. They have thousands of vets that work for them. They spend $700 million a year with U.S. farmers using their crops to make their products, and many, many other great things that Anheuser-Busch has done in this country. And those are the things that I'm focused on. When I look at a long-term sponsor that's going to be, we're going to do a 6-year deal here. I want to be with somebody that I'm aligned with. All those things that I just mentioned to you are what I'm all about. And not to mention, they have this thing called Folds of Honor. I'm very big into law enforcement and military. And over the last, I don't know how many years, they've spent like $45 million taking care of, these servicemen and first responders who have died, taking care of their families, scholarships for their kids and things like that. So I am very aligned with Anheuser-Busch.
All right, let me be clear about a few things. There were other beer companies that wanted to partner with you, correct? You certainly, I know you don't need the money because you have more money than anyone could ever want in probably 4,000 lifetimes. So you didn't do it for the money. You didn't do it, you did it for the reasons stated, but you also knew, and it's already happening on social media, that you'd be attacked. You'd be accused of selling out. I want you to respond to those people.
Well, let's be clear. When you do sponsorships, you definitely do sponsorships for the money too. Money is definitely a part of it, but money was not the decision-making. It wasn't the reason that I made the decision. All the things that I just told you are why. I mean, there's more to being aligned with a sponsor, a major sponsor like that, for as long as I'm going to be. There are many other things that are important to me other than just the money. And the people that were all involved in this negotiation on every side absolutely positively know that my choice was not determined by money. My choice was not determined by money. Not determined by money.
Yeah, I know that. You know, one of the things.
Huh? What? What the fuck? Oh, the dude's lying. Come on, he's lying. He's lying. See the blinking of the eyes, the mannerisms. Look, I'm not a body language expert. I'll leave that to Bombard Body Language. Check her out. Cool channel. But all indicators to me so far tell me that he did this because of the money. And I think he's hoping that his reputation, the one he's built over the many years, will be enough to counter any criticism he gets his way because he's partnered up with Anheuser-Busch. I mean, Jason Whitlock right here, he's saying Anheuser-Busch forking over more than $100 million in advertising dollars to America's most masculine sport is what victory looks like in the gender and sexuality culture war. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think he also said that Dana White has not sold out, but Anheuser-Busch has. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Time will tell. Time will tell. Liz Wheeler says, "Hi, Dana White. When you say the UFC and Bud Light are very aligned when it comes to our core values," and mind you, Dana White said aligned 4 times in that video. 4 times. "Are you saying that UFC is okay with Bud Light promoting the evil transgender ideology of Dylan Mulvaney? Signed, millions of fans who will boycott you too." Good question. Good question. It's a fair question in my opinion. And I'm not with Sean Hannity when he says, I'm not with boycotts. Boycotts are a way for the consumer, the customer, to show either the corporation or the product they sell that they are not satisfied with whatever it is. Hit them where it hurts, the wallet. You have Kash Patel, who was in Trump's administration during the final months of his presidency. "Do you think Donald Trump is going to walk down hand in hand with Dana White holding a freaking Bud Light?" No, I don't. I mean, Trump doesn't drink, first of all, but even if he did, Trump is smart enough not to do something like that. I mean, come on. It's obvious. Mark Dice saying, "The dumbest move in marketing aside from Bud Light partnering with Dylan Mulvaney is UFC accepting them as their new official sponsor." Way to read the room, Dana White. Moron. You have a fan here saying, "Thanks to your new sponsorship, cancel Fight Pass Plus. I'm going to save $80 a month on pay-per-view. Know your audience." There you go. And you can read this right here for yourself. Washington Examiner, "Dana White doubles down on Bud Light as UFC sponsor. I'm looking at all the good things they do." And we shared that video. "I try to tell you, Dana White, you really screwed the pooch. Does anyone with $100 million or higher fortune become dumb? Or was Dana White bribed $1 billion in offshore account to save Bud Light from bankruptcy? What else would make Dana White do something so stupid?" I don't know anything about that, but again, it's just showing people chiming in with their confusion and just bewilderment as to why Dana White would make such a move. Again, Dana White is not a stupid businessman. He's done well for himself. He doesn't need the money, but he went ahead with this for a reason. We'll see. And of course, we all remember this. And someone else saying, "Hey, Dana White, I hear they'll also pay you a ton of money to sponsor the UFC. You can sell it to them also. I mean, $1 is $1. Pfizer." Well, there you have it. Only time will tell what will happen with UFC. Again, I think Anheuser-Busch is trying to rebuild their brand. I think people are still not going to buy their product. I believe it can hurt Dana White's reputation a little bit, but I definitely believe the UFC fans will express their opinion during the matches, especially when they start seeing Bud Light all over the place in the ring and what have you. They will definitely express their hatred towards Anheuser-Busch one way or another, freely and by the law, of course. And I think that Dana White, yes, he's getting $1 million in this, but he's going to be tested in a way. So we'll see what happens. But I want to bring this story to you because, again, I didn't think Dana White would do this type of move, you know, but he's the CEO. He runs UFC. Or another possibility is that since the UFC is a subsidiary to Ari Emanuel's Endeavor, that Ari Emanuel is kind of putting pressure on Dana White to make a deal like this. That's something to think about. Could be. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, again, like, share, and subscribe. I really do appreciate all of you who are liking these videos. It really encourages me to make more of them. And let me know what you think. Get the conversation going. What do you think about this deal? Was it a wise move by Dana White, or is he slipping? And until next video, guys, take care.